All right, Brian. So we just got off of your channel and we did a 5 hour, pretty much just playing WWE 2K25 for 5 hours. But you went out to Creator Fest, right?
Yes, sir.
My boy, big WWE representative in the building.
Yeah.
So I just want to get your first impressions of from when you first saw WWE 2K25 at Creator Fest. What did you think going into it? Did it meet your expectations? Were your expectations killed? Where are you? Where were you initially with WWE 2K25 before you played it?
All right. So before I played it, I already knew what to expect when it came to gameplay. I knew it was going to be very similar, just with added features on top, like barricade jumping, stuff like that. So I knew that was going to be a part of the game. So when I first initially played it, I wasn't blown away. And that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah.
It just has to do with the fact that it was something that we were just used to. I was conditioned to the game. I played 2K24 so much that 25, when I played it, was like, all right, this is cool. But as you're playing the game, you see different reversal animations. You see different finisher animations. Like I was playing What's the Status in a match in a one-on-one, and I was playing with against Randy Orton, and we both we were like, oh snap, that's a different RKO. Like just different stuff like that, I'll say. But when I first loaded it up and I played with The Rock and I started using the new entrance camera, that blew me the hell away. Like that to me was like, oh my God. Like I understand that it's not like a gameplay feature, but just the presentation.
Yeah.
Just when you didn't think that they could take it up a notch, they took it up a notch with that. So that to me was more of just like my initial reaction to the game and where I was before. I was more looking forward to what the modes were going to look like more than the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. I agree, though. I think presentation is a big thing they nailed this year with the menus, with the third-person camera thing. We did try out the third-person camera when we were playing that backstage match. I think it's cool for certain things, but as far as like playing and trying to focus on what you're doing, third-person camera is probably not the way I would go, but it's always cool to have that feature in there. Now, Jay, unfortunately, you are a man on the PlayStation. Everybody boo him in the chat. So you don't get to fly to New Zealand to play today, but you will be able to play at 12 o'clock. So from what you've seen so far, what do you think about WWE? Did it meet your expectations, or were you expecting to see more from it?
Actually, man, I was going to actually kind of make a video about this, but I would say this year I was able to check off probably more off my wish list than like probably the last couple of years combined, man, because we got the barricade dives. They brought back the chain wrestling. Not exactly what in the way I hoped, but they did bring it back. So that's a start. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like a lot of the backstage stuff. And then like y'all was talking too, and I heard you say this too, Kenny, about the thumbnails, like being able to use that camera to get good thumbnails. That's going to be crazy, man. And just anybody who is into that kind of creation, like if they're trying to do their universe mode, like being able to get those different angles, that's going to be crazy, man. So
for sure.
I mean, it's definitely a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to. And believe it or not, like we was talking about, man, I mean, I'm actually kind of interested in the island, man. I want to see what that's about.
All right. Yeah, so we'll definitely talk more about the island. But like you brought up the camera for the thumbnails, I saw something on X where there was like Ethan Page doing a taunt and they were like zooming into his face. And that was one thing I thought about, like that's going to be real good for thumbnails. I didn't get in there. I didn't get a chance to get in there and actually test it out yet because we were pretty much streaming all day. But that is something I'm really looking forward to testing out as well. But the next thing, let me give y'all my first impressions now. Y'all know I like to keep it funky, right?
Go ahead.
So when they put out the statement, like the whole press release thing saying this is going to be a big game-changing year with breakthrough features, I was like, oh, this is going to be it. They are coming hard this time. It's going to be a big difference this year because I thought like with them saying that, they were going to walk away from last gen and we were going to go next gen early. The models they showed us early on look really good and improved, which the models do look good in the game, but when they actually showed the original gameplay, I was kind of let down because I was like, oh, okay. It is 2K24 again. The gameplay pretty much, it looks like it did before, but just the things they added to it, like the third-person camera, I think that does add a lot to it. The barricade dives. I like the underground match, how you can like throw them out of the ring, the intergender stuff. So there's enough there for the game to feel new, but overall, do I think this is like a game-changing or game breakthrough year? I don't think so at all. I think we could see that when we move forward to next generation only, but I don't think this year is quite it. But Jay, you brought up the island, so we got to talk about the island. Now, I haven't played the island much yet. Again, we were streaming all day. Before we end this stream tonight, we will be jumping into the island for the first time. But Brian, you've have played quite a bit of the island. I know you've been holding back so you could actually save the story stuff for your channel. But what do you think about what you have played in the island so far?
So initially when I played it at Creator Fest, I thought it was cool. Now, I didn't play that much, but I realized that there was a lot of Creator Superstar stuff. Just like initially, how kind of the how the city plays in NBA 2K, right? So I went in there and I was like, okay, so this is what it is. Now, being able to hit 100 overall day one is kind of crazy. I can't lie.
Crazy.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because the people that are paying, they are going to be the ones that, get to reap the benefits of beating people at 100 overall right away. So that to me, that is probably one of the only things I have to say. Now, understandably, after today and seeing how the servers look when you're not playing a 1v1 match, I can see why they didn't want to do 2v2s right away. Now, that could change. That could change. But just being completely honest on just the first impression, I personally think that I don't like the fact that it's just 1v1. I wish it was 2v2. Like, the whole point of the island is to play with your friends. That's how the city works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, that's the only thing. I hope that they don't lock creation parts back. I spoke up on that as much as I could. I think we're in a good position with the island. I think that people are not happy about microtransactions or whatnot. We really need to see if they can add up the VC, because that's another thing for me. Just the VC, when you play the game and just earning it, it needs to be higher. And I've already communicated that as well. So I'm trying my best, bro, to, try and voice everybody's concerns. And I think that's definitely a big concern for somebody who's not spending money. Nobody wants to be stuck at a 70-something overall forever. So that's really my 2 cents on the island for now.
All right, y'all. Our WWE representative, y'all, during his stream, he was reaching out to the developers like, y'all, listen, this ain't working, that ain't working. They're like, listen, bro, we gonna get on to it. So if y'all have a problem, make sure y'all follow Just Brian on YouTube if you don't already, because he's tapped in, he's connected, and he'll be able to help us get to the developers with these issues. But Jay, me and you were just talking about RPGs and how we like the grind. Definitely. That's kind of what I'm excited about with the island, but that's also what I'm kind of hesitant, and I need to get in there and see how it works, because like you said, nobody wants to be playing up from now until the next game comes out to level up their character all the way without spending money. So one thing I'm really worried about is just how that XP grows and how much you get during each match. From what you've seen, can you tell, or what do you think about the island from what we've seen so far?
Talking to me or
you?
Oh, okay. Well, to answer the XP question or the VC question, it doesn't look like you get a lot of VC. Like when you play matches, it looked very minuscule, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Really?
So, yeah, it was looking like, I think somebody won a match. I think they got like 150 VC or something. I want to say it was like crazy low. I was like, bro. So yeah, I mean, I don't know like how they're gonna go about. And one thing,
my fault, Jay. Like, you got a fan on?
Let me see. Oh, that's my other mic. Hold on.
Oh, you good? All right. My fault, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just didn't want your thoughts.
You good, man?
Yeah. All right, you good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, but I was going to say, man, especially in terms of like, I guess playing, the one thing I guess my concern was with playing like the 1v1. I'm not really a big online guy. So it's like, I mean, if you got to play against other people, like they're on that cheesing or something, like, how is that gonna work?
True.
Like, are they just gonna cheese you out, like, and keep dropping your rank or whatever? Or I don't know, man. So it's some things that's kind of scary looking. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, at the same time, I am kind of excited about that grind.
Yeah, me too. And like Brian said, if you bought the Bloodline edition, you can pretty much use the VC you got from that to level your character all the way up to like 99. And will it get you all the way to 99, Brian, or just very close to it?
It will get you to 98 overall.
98 overall. So you got people who got the Bloodline edition who's going to have like a gross advantage in there. So pay to win, man. It's like pay to win.
I'm spending all that on J's. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not going to spend it on leveling up my character. I'm going to save it because if it is like gross how much you have to grind to actually get your level up, then sure, I'm going to have to go ahead and use it. But I'm going to save it just in case to see. Brian, from what you could tell, how long do you think it would actually take for you to get your level all the way up?
I'll be honest, it's gonna take a hot minute.
Phew,
Based on
boy.
VC, I've already had a lot of these concerns and expressed them, bro. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe there's a lot of VC that's like that they start doing, but from what I've seen, like 200-300 VC a match, bro. Like you finna be there for a hot minute. So,
All right, so we got my boy Lex Express who just hopped in. Make sure y'all check out his channel as well. I'd say the most entertaining live streams in the business, whether you're on Lex Express or Lex Express Plus. But Lex, we've already went over our initial impressions. I know you have been playing the game today. What do you think about what you've gotten from WWE 2K25 so far as an overall picture? Oh yeah, my bad, y'all. This is our WWE executive. This is the representative. Well, go ahead, Lex.
What an introduction. All right, man. Ooh.
Okay,
played-
oh boy.
Hold on. I'm trying to see where I start. All right, so to piggyback on what you were talking about, the island. I played a lot of it today, a lot.
Okay.
And it's about 160, 170, sometimes 200 per match.
How much points does that get you? Like how far can you level up with that?
not even a
So-
point, my dog.
Not even a point?
No. Well, yeah, it depends because when you get deep into the system, the points start to cost more and more. It's more taxing. So at the start, you may be able to go from like 60 to 60 something in terms of that particular rating, but it's not going to get you too far overall, right? So if you don't have the bloodline or even the dead man to get a boost or even to get all the way through with the VC that you're getting included, it's going to be a pretty long grind. But I will say this, man, it's intimidating when you're unaware of where to spend it and what to do with it. But immediately playing the mode even at a high rating, you could see the matches and the difficulty within each match. And there's a lot of matches to start off on easy to kind of get you going. And you actually start off depending on what character you want to build. So the powerhouse, I think it was a light heavyweight that I created, he started off at a 74. But depending on what you start off with, you could be a little lower and maybe around the same range. So it's going to vary case by case. But I will say that the grind it's not horrible, but at least it's offline and you start off like they hold your hand when you're starting off. Like if you don't beat the computer on easy, even at a 74 overall, then you got to hit the tutorial and you got to hit the tutorial. So
Are there like boss battles in there that give you more XP, or is it pretty much just match after match?
No, yeah. So it's match after match for a good bit, but I already had my first boss battle, which it's against a character that's familiar with Xavier Woods. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that may enjoy that, but they do a whole story arc out of it, and it's like completing like a sub-chapter. It wasn't the full chapter, but a sub-chapter within that area that I was doing. I like the island. The concept is definitely far bigger than what we actually ended up with. It's not necessarily a horrible or a bad thing, but yeah, all the shoes are 18,000. Even if you're getting like something from the R-Truth brand, like if you go to the R-Truth shop, it doesn't matter if it's Nike or Jordan. Shoes are literally 18,000 at every single store. Like they're all priced the same. So that was rough. If you care about cosmetics, the island is going to be extremely infuriating because it's going to take you a while to get a hat. It's going to take you even longer to get a shoe. It's going to take you long to get a sweater. But, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I got the Bloodline edition. I already got the Yeet shirt. I already got the Tribal Chief hoodie. And like they already set you off with things that I don't feel like I'm going to have to go too crazy and be like, oh, yeah, I really want to get this cosmetic because you earn cosmetics along the way, too.
Oh, you do earn stuff where you don't have to pay for? You're not going to earn a pair of Jordans, though, are you?
From as far as I've played, and I played a a good bunch of hours. I didn't earn any Jordans or didn't see any Jordan shirts or Nike or anything significant like that. It was kind of more like quirky stuff within like that universe of like the arcade,
Oh,
electronic,
okay. Yeah.
like that stuff. So I don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I went too deep into the island. Point
No, no,
being,
that's what we were talking about. It's cool.
yeah, at its core, the game is the same structure as the previous ones. I just feel like this is just the evolution, right? The better version of everything that we've played so far.
Well,
That's the
Mr.
best way to put
Lex,
it.
interesting you say that because when they first showed the gameplay, I was on your stream and I was like, bro, I mean, the game looks the same.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, it does not.
Get messy.
It does not look
Well,
the same.
All right. So the way that, but hold on, you're taking what I said out of context because
Okay, all right.
my deep dive in that topic was at its core. I never argued whether the game was the same or not because at its core I said that, and you said to the naked eye. That I remember vividly because you wanted me to reply to the naked eye, and my initial answer was no because of the intergender. So I feel like what they did with this year was mask the core of the game that we've seen in previous years, which I never argued that was never like up for debate. I mean, come on, I'd be a clown to say that it's at its core not the same game, but you didn't want me to use that. You
That's
wanted
all I
me
wanted.
to.
If you said at the core it's the same game, but they added stuff to it, I was been like, all right, cool. But the
But I
only
did
reason
say
I was
that.
saying that is because I did expect it to be completely different based on how it was sold to us originally. But I
Yeah,
think,
game changing.
it's 2K24 with additional features, which again, it's fine. It's the system they're using right now. We're still on last gen console, so they're not going to be able to take that big leap forward. And I don't think we're going to see that big leap forward until they leave last gen behind. One of the developers said that that's kind of what's going on with the hair. Like, because they have to still support last gen, they can't go all the way forward with making the hair look better. So I think that's kind of the jump I'm waiting to see. And, until we get there, I think we are still going to be kind of living in this same world with just those additional upgrades.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to talk about, big topic today, Brian. We just did again 5 hours on your stream. And we had some pretty good success. When we were doing one-on-one matches, I think everything was perfect, right? We didn't have any fails with the one-on-ones. But when we were doing multi-man matches, the servers were cooked. We could not finish a match. Now, don't get me wrong, it was all smooth. Like, we were actually like, whoa, this is actually working pretty good. And then just out of nowhere, boop, you got kicked out. Everybody, one time it kicked Brian all the way back to his Xbox home screen. So, Brian, you got some words from the devs. Can you update everybody on what's going on with the servers?
Yeah, so I was told that they are working on the servers actively, and after the day one patch comes out, a lot of those issues should be gone. Now, I'm just a messenger here.
Yeah, they're gonna cook you, bro.
I mean, if they're working on, listen, we're not even supposed to be playing the game today. Technically, I had to fly all the way out here. I had to take my office to New Zealand, so I'm out here in New Zealand right now playing the game.
How's the weather out there?
The weather's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I can't complain. I got to fly back tonight though, so we'll see. But because it is still early, the day one patch hasn't dropped yet. We don't know what it's going to look like in the long run, but the fact that one-on-one matches are so crispy and we have no issues with it. What'd you say?
I said very crispy, like crispier than last year. Like there's no delay, there's nothing. It's just
no delay. I was reversing everything Brian was throwing at me, whooping him. But when you got in those multi-man matches, sometimes, I'm not sure if you ran into this, Lex, but we were playing like a multi-man match and the pin meter wasn't popping up, like an elimination chamber. So if somebody got pinned, it's over. No way you can kick out. So just nasty things like that. In the last match we played, the pin meter did pop up for a lot of people, but Brian got pinned and he got no pin meter. So it looks like that's something else we're running into. Even if you can get to the end of the match, it's going to have little quirky things like that in it, which I'm sure, again, can be fixed. Brian let them know those issues were happening.
I just want to say it will be fixed in the day one patch.
There we go.
So,
but Lex, have you been playing online outside of the island, or have you just been pretty much on the island the whole time?
So I did the tutorial. I did a couple matches offline by myself, and then everything else has been on the island. But the island, remember, you're online the whole time. I did get kicked off once, like from the actual loading in. It looked like the frames dropped as I was spinning my camera around while I was loading in, and it looked like the game just went haywire and just crashed. So I think that it's just, we don't have everyone online yet. So the next wave of people that get online, that's when it's gonna get real, bro. We're gonna, because a lot of people, as much as people are very vocal about how they feel, a lot of people got the bloodline and the dead man edition. So there's gonna be a lot of people immediately, even with that day one patch. It's gonna be a little rocky. I think.
Here's what I'm gonna tell y'all, bro. With that, how I feel about it personally, I think that a lot of it too, it's first day, right? Like, this is not the only game that has first day server issues.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
part of the reason why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt today, because when I was in one-on-ones, and regardless of the disconnects, like, I understand that the disconnects were happening and that was a big letdown. Everything was smooth aside from that. Boom, you're disconnected. Like, there was nothing letting me know, hey, this is choppy, laggy. Like, it wasn't nothing leading up to it. It was just like, boom, disconnected. So that's why I got faith. Like, if it was just a complete lag fest at like last year at times, plus a disconnect, I'd be like, God, leave, bro. But the point right now is the fact is that everything is smooth up to that point. So that's what really has me with just a little bit of faith. Because everything was smooth up to that point, bro. It felt like there was something that people were doing in the match innocently that was triggering a disconnect.
Yeah, because in one match we were doing a ladder match, and as soon like everything was smooth and good, but when the guy climbed up the ladder and tried to grab the briefcase, kicked us all out. So
Wow.
yeah, just trippy stuff like that. Now, Jay, I know you said like you were doing Monster Hunter solo on your world. Do you usually play these WWE games online, or are you more of an offline player?
I'm more of offline, man. I don't really. Only thing I do online is probably check out the community creations and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really play online.
Yeah, same for me. The only time I really play online is if I'm doing like a live stream and I'm playing with everybody else. But last year we tried that and it was a disaster. And we kind of ran into those same issues on Brian's stream today. So hopefully when we get this day one patch, everything is cleared up. And then we'll see where we go from there. But the next thing I want to ask you guys about, Brian, I know this is a big thing you look forward to every year, and that is Universe Mode. How's Universe Mode? What's the state this year? And how do you feel about it overall?
I think it's one of the better upgrade modes. Not just because, people want to say, oh, this, that, and the other. I'm a show. I genuinely think that developer is getting a lot of crap for a mode that I thought was probably one of the most improved this year. Yeah, it doesn't have everything that we wanted in it, but there's a lot of things in there that I do appreciate. So that's a mode that I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of time in this year. And so far, I've played it a lot, lots of stability. I haven't noticed a lot of things broken. There may be one or two things in there that hopefully we can get fixed. But again, just very stable in my opinion.
Okay. Jay, are you a big Universe Mode player?
No, I mean, I want to jump into it. I did have a question for Brian, though, in terms of like the promos and stuff like that. Like, how do you, kind of feel? I mean, do you feel like that's the right direction that they're going in with the, I guess, the voiceless promos and stuff like that? Or do you feel like it's something that, they could have maybe done a little better? Yeah, obviously room for improvement, but
Yeah, personally, I think what happened with that, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, snap. I thought my game was glitched. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, y'all sure this? I'm like, hey, bro, you're not talking. But they were like, nah, it's just something that they couldn't get done.
okay.
There's a legal process behind it. Just to give a little bit of background info, but personally, I appreciate the fact that it's in there. Is it a little bit odd? Yes. But at the same time, it's kind of like you still get to the point, right? Because when you're in the promo, it gives you 4 options. Hey, you want to fight? You want to wait? You want to accept the challenge? Like, what do you want to do? So, like, even though there's no talking, I think the commentary and the options popping up right in front of you still kind of give you the point, like, hey, this is what's going on without them talking. Now, I'm hoping that in the future they just allow you to grab a keyboard and just type in whatever the hell you want to push in there. I'm hoping that that's their next big upgrade. But again, I'm glad that the foundation of the promos is in, because promos really got like a really nice upgrade compared to what we saw back in 19. Like, being able to go out there, their music plays after they leave the ring, and you see them drop the mic. I even saw one where I was playing and Cody Rhodes made his entrance, and with his jacket and everything, and then he takes off his jacket and he grabs the mic. I just thought that was really cool. So again, just cool stuff in my opinion with the promos. But to answer your question, Jay, I think they are going the right direction. There's a lot of a good foundation there, but we have to see what they decide to do with it next.
Okay. I was saying, to answer your question, Kenny, yeah, I mean, I do plan to jump into it this year. Like, I mean, I definitely want to try to give it a honest go, man, because last year, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really do too much in it. I was like,
No, I'm with
not
you.
going.
I'm with you. So many people like are so obsessed with universe mode, and I think this is the thing that keeps the game alive for a lot of people. But just going in there and trying, I was going to try to do like a WWE versus AEW universe thing last year, but just setting up the cards and stuff just really didn't do it for me. I just felt like it wasn't enough there, and people were excited about the promos coming back, and I was like, okay, you know, that could add a little bit of story stuff to the universe. But then I found out there was no dialogue with the promos. I was like, well, what's the point? What's everybody excited about this for?
Yeah.
So I think what they need to do, which I mean, it's something that we've been talking about for years now. They got to bring back create a story and build it into universe mode. I mean, you could do the stories by themselves, but if you build it into universe mode and let people create that stuff and upload it, I think that'll give that mode like a whole new breath of life. And that's when I would actually be excited to jump into it, because just building the stuff myself, I'm not really into. Just like creating wrestlers, now I'm not into, but I love to look at other people's wrestlers and download them. So if other people are creating those universe stories and I can just go live through them, I think that'll actually get me into the mode. But the mode as is right now just really doesn't give me any need to jump in and play it. What about you, Lex? You a big universe mode guy? Have you checked it out in 25 yet?
I haven't checked it out this year, but I know a lot of people probably roast me for this. I've never cared about universe mode, not even when it was considered at its peak, like however many years ago, whenever that was, whether people consider 19, 14, 13, 12, whatever year you want to throw at me, even at its peak universe for me, I felt like I never really like had that urge to like create that whole universe experience. And more recently, because people have urged me to go back and play it in the other games, I've gone back to play it in the other games. I'm like, guys, I still don't really see the thrill in this, because I don't get animations as often as I would like. I felt like the matchmaking was all over the place. It just didn't feel like an experience that the game was self-aware of what was going on. It kind of felt like, outside of the rivalries, it felt like just a mashup. Like, like you just put a pot and throw a bunch of veggies and mix it all up. Like, that's kind of like what I felt Universe was. It didn't feel like there was a good direction to it. And Brian, I wanted to ask you, because of what you just said. You were saying that they were gonna try to put in like writing, or was this like a creative decision that they said, okay, no writing, forget about the legal issues, but like,
Yeah.
was this the creative route they chose to go on, or it was they didn't have enough time? Is this another we didn't have enough time?
I don't know if that's I don't know what they decided to do off rip, but after speaking with the creative director of the game, I asked him, and he said there's a legal process. Like, it got to get approved by WWE first, then it got to
Yeah,
get
of course.
approved by the people who because you just got to get it approved, like with the rating and everything. So it goes through like a whole process, bro. So they were like, bro,
Yeah,
we're good
for the
off this.
script.
Which again, I felt like their responses in 19 did nothing for promos, nothing at
Yeah.
all. I thought it was trash. Like, it was so generic. It
Yeah,
wasn't
was.
great. So
No, it wasn't.
honestly, this version in this year's game, I preferred. Like,
Okay.
if you was gonna give us those generic lines again, just give me nothing. Let me just imagine what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I'm,
you're right.
I'm glad that they got away from that. But if they're gonna bring it back, I would love, like, hey, here's your option to write stuff with a keyboard or something, like story mode had it once upon a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot better.
They kind of want us to just, I guess, direct where the scene is going anyway. So it seems like that would be a natural evolution for that tactic.
Right.
So I mean, I like the idea of promos more than the way it plays out. I agree with you 100%, Brian. I remember going back to 19 to trying out the promos, and as cool as the idea is, the stuff that you read doesn't sound like the characters that are there saying it. So that's one thing I'll throw in before I end it. The island, I give them props for that, because when you talk to R-Truth, you could hear R-Truth saying what you're reading. And that, like, I was legit laughing at R-Truth's dialogue.
So no voiceovers in the island?
No voiceover, no cutscenes. There was a video package with like Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman talking to you, but it's mostly reading like promos used to be, but actually feeling like you're talking to that particular character on screen.
Now,
That's
do you see
impressive.
like art? Let's say you're talking to R-Truth. Is he
Yeah.
standing on the island? You know how they do the little thing, like when characters are
Yeah,
talking.
no. It's not like an RPG game. It actually is like the selection screen. Like they're doing like let's say he's like saying something funny and laughing. He'll have like a pose like this. If he's being
Oh,
serious,
okay.
he'll be like that, and it has like a random background. Like
I see.
it's just
Okay.
like very random depending on like the conversation you're having. But I will say that the dialogue that you're reading, I gotta give them credit, man. They knocked it out the park with feeling that particular superstar you're talking to. It's not like Universe in 2K19 that you're like, bro, Undertaker would never say this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. That used to piss me off to know.
Yeah,
Man,
it
I'm
was
like, I don't
funny.
want to hear Undertaker talk about his boots and all kind. I'm like, that's crazy,
What?
bro. Like,
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Okay. All right. So Brian, you've had some time to spend with the game before the release. So did you finish the showcase mode completely?
Yes, I did.
All right. So I know you're not a big showcase guy usually. Of course, the slingshot mechanic thing was terrible, but they actually got it out of the game. Big shouts out to them for listening to everybody on that. What did you think about the showcase mode this year? Did they still have like the take your opponent to the northeast corner, things like that? Like, what did you think about the package
No.
as a whole?
So the objectives are way better. It's slimmed down to around 6 or 7 a match instead of 18. So that to me was huge. The WoW intro, amazing. I'm not gonna say too much about it because I know that there are people that are gonna want to play it. And Jay, I know that you haven't gotten your hands on a game, Mr. PlayStation over there.
There's the PlayStation guy up here. This guy.
But I just want to let you guys know that is probably the most enjoyable thing you are ever going to get out of a showcase. I don't think that
The
there's
intro?
anything that tops it. Yes. The intro is legit amazing. Like if I'm overhyping it and you play it, I'm sorry, but this is genuinely how I feel. This is one of the best things that I've ever seen them do. The camera work, everything was it was beautiful. The gameplay, the gameplay during it, to answer your question, Kenny, there was no northeast. They actually tell you, bring them to the entrance side, bring them to the announce table side. Thank you. Any corner, they basically say Irish whip to a corner. You can Irish whip to any corner, and the cutscene will set off.
Okay.
Again, they did a great job. Like I think the showcase was good. In-game cutscenes being back is a huge W. So again, I honestly have not many complaints about the showcase. If I had any complaints, is the dream matches. Them matches are there for just to be there and unlock characters. There are no scenarios for them. This is just, hey, play an exhibition match and just do a whole lot of damage and move on. That's what I disliked about it.
Oh, okay. So no story in the filler
Damn.
matches, the dream matches, just
Nah, no story, bro. Just hey, here's some wrestlers that you haven't seen in a game in a while and play with them.
wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
I didn't like that. But then they also had matches where some wrestlers lost, and it's like, hey, do right by them by winning the match. So basically, they give you some of the cutscenes that happen in real life, but then you just got to win the match. Nothing special happens after, but you still get all the end-game cutscenes.
okay. I usually enjoy the showcase every year, so the slingshot stuff is usually the thing that always used to take me out of it. So I think I'm gonna really enjoy it this year, just as much as the others. JCSJ, are you a showcase guy, or do you usually skip it?
No, I mean I would usually play through it just to get the unlockables. And stuff. Honestly, but
It sounds
yeah.
like a drag for you.
Yeah, 2K24 was terrible. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I
I don't even think I
liked it.
finished
I
it. I
didn't
ain't
mind
gonna lie to you. I seriously don't think I finished that. It was just that slingshot tech, man. I mean, I'm glad that, like you said, a lot of fan service. I'm glad they was able to get that up out of there, man, because that killed it for me. Seriously.
Yeah. Yep, that was always the worst part for me too.
Right,
What about you, Big Lex?
Man, I love that the showcase was the one thing that made me feel like I was playing a story, like something with a beginning, middle, and end with a superstar that hopefully I enjoyed. And I really enjoyed that element of like unlocking stuff and completing objectives. But when they started doing the northeast corner, and then the fact that they didn't have any commentary, like I remember the first time that I saw it, I was like, okay, they're doing it like the old games. But then like if you lost the match or you were stuck with trying to take them to the corner. They wanted you to like the same music hammering at your ear. It was like, holy snap. It started to get annoying when you had to repeatedly jump back into the same sequence with the same heavy metal music or whatever it was in that particular match. And it started growing old on me. And I'm like, man, I really hope they revamp it. So this year, like the showcase, even just hearing what Brian said, the trailer, the little snippets that we got from the ringside report, like I can't wait to play it this year. Like that is definitely the mode I am most looking forward to outside of the island that we already, experienced for a bit. But the showcase for sure, all the changes that they made for me is like, damn, they hit home with it this year.
Yeah. They finally got it right after 5 years. I will say that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, after 5
All
years,
right,
they
so-
finally listened.
Yeah.
And it seems like they do listen, because there's a lot of stuff we complain about, just like the stupid stance things they do. Like they didn't take them out completely, but that's something that they could have just left in there. But I'm sure they hear everybody complaining, and they're kind of toning it down a lot. I just can't wait till we get to the point where we get the wrestlers actually feeling like themselves, like the Undertaker standing like he used to, and here comes the Pain with his arms down, just feeling like a monster. We got to get to that point. Hopefully next year. I mean, I don't know, but Brian said it is something they're looking at, so we'll see. Brian Williams, not our WWE representative.
not this
Brian.
rep, the developer, the
Shout out
gameplay
Brian,
developer.
man.
But all right, we could just touch on this one, because I'm not sure if y'all are big fans of it, but MYRise has been kind of cooked for the last few years, in my opinion. They still got the phone stuff and the backstage stuff in there. Brian, have you played it yet?
MYRise, no, I have not.
Are you going to be doing like a playthrough on your channel or like a series, MYRise?
Yeah, I'm starting on Saturday.
Okay, sounds good. Jay?
Yeah, actually, I'm a MyRise guy, man. Like that's probably the mode that I play the most, honestly. I mean, but I'm with you on that, man. Like the whole Twitter GM crap. I'm like, man, come on, get that out of there, dude.
Yeah.
Like I cannot stand it. I'm like, why is my phone a better GM than the actual GM?
Yeah,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So it's like, I never understood that whole philosophy. I'm like, dude, just let us roam around or whatever, talk to some people, and just make matches happen organically instead of,
I agree.
this whole somebody Twitter beefing with you or whatever. Like, come on, man. I don't, yeah. So that's one of the major turnoffs to me. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I'm actually a MyRise guy, man.
No,
So, yeah,
I'm with you. I'm a MyRise guy too. Like MyRise, what was the Road to WrestleMania? Like that's the thing I used to come to these wrestling games for the most. I love the story mode on it, but MyRise just always took me out of it because of the stupid phone stuff. I'm like, bro, like even if the story's good, it's so tough to get through because you got to go through your phone. Then they give you that stupid thing where you're in the back just looking at everybody from corner to corner.
Yeah.
I think if they cut that stuff out, it'll be so much better because the stories seem like they're good every year. And this year I see they got like the branching paths where you can choose your personality and it's not the same every time. There's so much good in the mode. It's just bogged down by that bad stuff in the middle. So I'm definitely going to play through it this time. I'm going to try to do it on live streams to stay engaged and make sure I stick with it. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully this can get me back into the modes, but unfortunately I think MyRise is what it's going to be. So I'm not expecting them to remove this next year either. It's probably going to be the same thing. What about you, Lex?
I agree with you. This year, I'm definitely more into it, especially with the story that they're doing, like the whole invasion stuff. I really like that concept. I played it and beat it for 2K23, the men's one. And I actually had downloaded a CM Punk and imported him. So I felt like I was playing as CM Punk with a weird voice. That was the lock. Yeah, I did the lock storyline. So to be honest with you, after once I got comfortable in the, staring at the people in front of you, I almost started like bulldozing past the social media stuff and not really paying attention because as a completionist, as wanting to go through every objective, it kind of like I get like OCD. I'm like, damn, I'm not completing this, or I'm not talking to that person and furthering that. I just started tapping and just looking at the cutscenes, enjoying the people that were in front of me. And I said, screw social media and whatever bonus content I'm missing out on, because I want to enjoy the actual cutscene and story.
Yeah.
And I found my way through it like that. Like I was able to shoehorn my way through it, but I skipped out on 24 as much as I said, I'm going to play it. I was even going to play like last week or whatever to wrap up that game. and I just didn't find the energy because that dude, I'm okay with social media being part of the way you engage, but the way that they do it, I mean, it just feels like the ultimate comfort zone in terms of development. And I get it. They're trying to do so much that they have that stride. They have it down, bro. It's like copy and paste that structure and just fill it in with different words, and you're kind of good to go with that. And for me, it's just like, uh, on top of the
Yeah.
fact that I don't even like playing as a created character, by the way. I wish I could
You
just play
don't?
with a wrestler. Nah, I like playing with regular superstars.
Oh, come
I
on,
know,
man. I'll
weird.
download an AEW star from Community
Oh,
Creations.
yes.
Like, I'll get
Yes,
Hangman
yes.
Page and I'll go through with him. So I don't mind
Yes,
it.
like that, yes. But you're still not creating yourself or a version
Oh,
of
yeah.
yourself, you know?
Right. No,
That's what I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I understand.
So yeah. I'll check it out.
So are you going to try to play this year, or you just
Yeah.
cancel Christmas
Yeah,
on it?
No. This year, the storyline has me hooked. I saw like a couple little cutscenes when they were teasing it for that ringside report.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? This story actually reminds me of like WCW invading WWF and stuff like
Yeah.
that, ECW. So it gave me that nostalgia. So I want to see it for myself. If it sucks if it doesn't get me within the first hour or two, then we could cancel Christmas on.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna bulldoze through it. Like, I'm gonna try to skip all the social media
Yeah,
stuff
just
because
skip it.
all I want is the story. I don't want none of that other stuff
Yeah,
backstage.
for sure. For sure.
All right, fellas. But before we get to DLC, I want to ask y'all. I know it's still early, and again, the game is technically not even supposed to be out yet. But
Yeah.
what's one thing that we are not getting this year that you would like to see added next year, whether it be a mode, whether it be a gameplay change? Like, what do you expect to see from WWE 2K26? Let's start with you, Lex.
All right, I'm gonna make it as short as I possibly can, bro. I wish that the online, forget about the island, just the online, forget about island and my faction because those are two online heavy modes. The actual lobby system that they have now is so like, it's so depressing. It really is. As a fan of like wanting to engage, forget even just a community, but with friends. Like, let's say we all want to play the game. Like, it's so limited compared to what it was, and they don't ever really touch it too much. And then this year, I read the breakdown of the game that special guest referee got so much love with all these matches, and I'm like, let's go! Yeah, this is the league. It's gonna be amazing. And then people started coming to my live stream. Yo, Brian just checked that there's no special guest referee matches, just 1v1. I'm like, nah. They're like, no, go check it. I'm like, no way, bro. I swear that I like that. It really put me in a bad mental space for a second until I snapped out of it. But it hurt my feelings, bro. They literally just stuck a knife through my heart because I read this and I'm like, yeah. And then no. Yeah. So
Offline
I
only,
want
right?
them to, yes, exactly. Offline only. I just want them to show more love to something that I feel would take this game to the next level, bro. I think people would just naturally gravitate towards wanting to play with their friends. How
Yeah.
many people really play couch co-op?
Not many. And that's my thing.
Exactly.
Yep, that's why I don't play as much, because I don't have nobody at home to play with me. And if I wanted to play during like a live stream, you try to get a lot of people in the match to play at the same time, and it's just crashing. It kind of takes
Exactly.
people out of it. And that's why, I
Exactly.
stopped doing the live stream so early, because the multi-man matches just weren't working. So you would say the thing you want them to focus most on is online?
The multiplayer experience that has nothing to do with in-game currency and nothing to do with all this new stuff that they're working on. Keep working on all that stuff, but this year supposedly we're getting good servers, so great foundation, bro. I wish I could talk to the person that's part of like the online team and like where are they coming up with like the idea that they shouldn't add more to that experience. I don't know.
All right,
Maybe
I think
they
that's
have-
a good one, because you're not alone.
Hold on, before I end it, maybe, and I do gotta add this. Maybe they have like actual stats that show that like 70% of their community doesn't give a shit about online and they're all playing Universe. Then I'll shut the hell up, at that point, because they have the numbers and they know why they're not playing.
I don't know, because they may have those numbers, but that number reflects players who tried to play online and it just doesn't work. So
That's
people
a way
aren't
to
going
look
to
at it,
play
too.
if they're not expecting a good experience. So
True.
I think they just
That's
got to
a
go
good
for
way.
it. But what about you, Jay? I know you. There's a lot of good ideas that you come up with, like the limb damage stuff. Like, what do you think? Like, what would you want to see added?
Hey, you just answered my question, man.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it, but
Yeah,
that's just one thing that really stands out to me.
I'm gonna try to keep it because my heat just kicked on, man, and it's loud.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, man. Definitely the limb damage stuff, man. I feel like, and I think they actually said something along the lines like when you guys were doing those rounds of development interviews with Brian Williams. I think he did actually say that was something that they were kind of, I guess, hoping to get in the game. But yeah, I feel like it would just add like a different level, man, to like just the gameplay in general, just to have like those where you're selling injuries and things like that to help with the match pace and everything. So yeah, that's definitely mine.
Yeah, and that's a good one because when he brought it up, like I believe he said like, yeah, we want to get it in there, but we just don't want it to be just like them holding the limbs. He wanted to like affect the moves and like to go deeper than that. So I think that's like a game changing system because if you go in the match with a plan, like let's say you're playing against Javon Evans and you know he wants to fly all over the place, you go in there, you take his legs out. Now he's limited with his moveset. I think that just adds another layer and like another like extra piece of strategy to it. So
exactly,
I think that's a real
like
good one.
Yep. Grounding the high flyers and chopping down the big man, things like that, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What about you, Brian?
What was your sorry, I've just been handling a lot of things.
Nah, you good.
Okay, so for me, something that I would like to see next year, PLE cutscenes in universe mode, man.
PLE cutscenes.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have that in there. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like a logo popping up like Backlash?
Nah, PLE cutscenes. No, you are way off, my brother.
They're talking about show intros, bro. I mean, come on.
I'm talking more about like, bro, PLE cutscenes. That basically is like the rivalry cutscenes that we're able to do. Like, let me do a promo. Let me cash in my money in the bank at a pay-per-view. Like, let me do stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. I say for me. Go ahead.
I was gonna say to piggyback off that real quick though. Does anybody know, like, if in universe mode, do they have like the wrestler like shows, like like Miz TV and all that kind of stuff on there? Like, why don't they do that, man? Like, that would be crazy. Like, have have those different segments where you can actually interact with those wrestlers. You might want to attack them or something. Who knows? But
yeah. Now WWF Raw. I don't know if y'all ever played Raw and Raw 2. But the story modes, they kind of did like some stuff like that where you could get like certain choices, like go talk to this wrestler in the back, go cut a promo in the ring. Like it'll give you like a certain amount of options you could do. I think even something like that will be cool. I want to see them add like a calendar to the game. Just like where you could just go through day by day and run through, go to WrestleMania, maybe win the championship, and then run the calendar again. Just like even something like that you can just turn your brain off and play. I think that'll be cool too. But I do say the limb damage for sure. But the thing I want to see most is really the wrestlers actually behave like themselves. Like I want the Undertaker to feel like a monster. I want to see, John Cena standing however he stands because I don't like just every wrestler you get in there feels the same. I think that's why I like the new Giant style, like with the Undertaker 90 that was just added. He feels different. He feels heavy, but he feels like a monster, like he's unstoppable. So I want to see those wrestler stances added. I mean, it doesn't even really mean much. It's just a look, but I think it makes it feel a lot more authentic.
Yeah. And I do have a question, like, in terms of like for y'all who playing the island, they have like the badges, and I'm pretty sure, Brian, you play NBA 2K, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So do the badges work like for
those that said I didn't and trying to insult my intelligence? I do play NBA 2K. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say, do the badges pretty much work in the same way? Like, does it make like characters feel different at all? Like,
yes,
that's all it does. Yeah, like they got somewhere. They got a badge where you can taunt 4 times, and after your fourth successful taunt, it gives you a finisher. Stuff like that. So it will help you. Like a lot of things that people don't understand is that you can go up to 100 overall, but the real meat of a lot of the game and a lot of the island is the badges that they don't let you unlock right away. So that's something important to keep note of as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You could have only what I did see is that, which I thought was, and I guess it's okay if you're trying to like nerf the competition, but you could only have up to 4 equipped. And even though I'm like a 96 overall, I could only have 1 right now, and you unlock them as you go through the quest. So you are capped off with the badges, and it gives you like like the one that I unlocked first was to stun your opponent with a heavy combo. So like if I do light, and then heavy, I'm gonna have a higher chance to stun you quicker, and that's pure cheese. So if imagine if you combine that with another nice little nifty badge, I mean that's gonna seal the deal for the match. So it is a badge game, and how you put that together is gonna make or break you as a player in the island for sure. I could see it already.
Okay.
All right, fellas, before we get up out of here, one last thing I want to talk to y'all about is the DLC. So we got a lot of different wrestlers added. Let's go ahead and start off with the first pack, which is the new wave pack. Now, in this one, personally, in my opinion, I think they got a lot of wrestlers who needed to be added to the game. It only made sense. So nothing really shocking or groundbreaking here for me for the first month like we had last time. In May 2025, we'll get Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Julia, Stephanie Vakir, and a special celebrity guest. Brian, what do you think about that pack?
I think that pack is great, bro. The fact that we got Stephanie and Julia in the first pack, that's great. That's amazing. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm happy to see that. The celebrities is what I'm not happy about, but we could talk about that in a second. Let's keep the excitement up for a second. Julia and Stephanie is a fat W, my boy. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see, you know, what they'll look like, what they'll play like. I need Stephanie ASAP, so I'm excited about that.
I'm not super excited about Stephanie because Booker T's not on commentary to say, when she hits her move. But Jay, what do you think about that first pack?
The first one, man, I rated a solid probably 8 out of 10 so far. I mean, it's just I agree with like Brian when, you know, in terms of like the celebrity stuff. I'm not real sure. I mean, because it's kind of hit or miss with that because, like, you know, I recall a bunch of people saying, like, you know, hey, I would love to have Snoop Dogg in the game, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
That. You know what I'm saying? But then on the flip side of it, then it's like, you know, we get other people, and then it's like, you know, why are they doing that? That's you know, they could have gave somebody else that roster slot. So
Right.
you know, I mean, it's kind of hit or miss with that. I mean, I don't know like why I guess 2K does that. You know, I mean, I get that wrestling is kind of transcends like genres, like, you know, it's like in the basketball, you know, it's like a lot of basketball, like you see Giannis and them, they be over there, you know, doing wrestling moves before the, you know, games or whatever. So it's like they're incorporated in it, but it's at the same time, it's like, man.
And they carry around the belts too, but still, I mean, that don't
Yeah,
mean
you know what I'm saying?
game,
I mean,
but
it's like, I'm glad to see wrestling is, you know, I mean, that mainstream again, you know, back like when we had it, but I don't know, man. Like some of these celebrities, like, I don't know.
yeah. So, I mean, for the first pack, I agree with you. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I already gave my thoughts on it. What about you, Lex?
So hold on. Would you, because I've been holding this, I wanted to wait till you came to me. You want the wrestlers to be personalized, but you know, Jay, you play NBA? Is that what you were asking earlier? Or
No, I was asking Brian if he played. I hadn't played.
But you don't play NBA.
Yeah, I hadn't played in the forever.
So like the basketball community for the most part get what they want with the more known superstars to move and handle like themselves. Like he mentioned Giannis, like you're playing with Giannis, you're gonna get that animation with LeBron, Jordan, whoever.
Yes.
You're gonna get those specific animations, but there are more superstars, believe it or not, that don't have that signature that you feel like you're playing with that. Now, that's not to say that I could play with a random scrub and he's going to feel like LeBron. They're obviously not going to put LeBron's animation on a role player, a bench warmer for those, you know, that don't know. But would you guys be okay if in wrestling they gave it to, like, you know, because this game does have, at the end of the day, whether you love it or hate it, it has like non-duplicates at least. I think it should be what, because they claim this year has over 300 superstars, but non-duplicates, I would say,
230, 240.
Yeah, exactly. So can you imagine, like, out of the 240 superstars, would you be okay with at least maybe 100 of them having the actual animation, and the others, like the NXT stars and some of the other lesser popular stars, like let's say Baron Corbin was still in the game, would you be okay with like Baron Corbin not really having his signature but Undertaker having it? Because
you know what, Lex?
you know,
We were talking about this right before you came in. That's exactly what I was saying. If you can't get it on all of the wrestlers because you got about 300 in the game, just do it for
Yeah.
your big stars to start out with, and then we can work on it from after that. So I
Implement.
wouldn't be mad at that. You say your top 50 stars, make them feel like themselves. Rhea Ripley, John Cena, Undertaker, The Rock, whatever. Take your top 50, make them feel like themselves, and then we'll deal with the others as we go along. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. It's a start.
That's
Yeah,
the way. That's
definitely.
the way 2K is. Like NBA style. Like just to piggyback off Lex. Like if you're somebody who's like a kind of a nerd, right, and you looking at the jump shots and stuff, you'll notice that some people don't got the most accurate jump shot. But like you look at a LeBron, that brother jump shot is spot on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Picture
So
perfect.
that's what you want. That's essentially what we want to see carried over to the WWE side.
Oh, you mean LeBron? He looked down at his feet before he shoot a three?
Oh yeah, he got a whole animation. He pulled the ball back and the FU3 that joint right there. He gonna hit that.
Oh, man.
But do you
He
think
hangs on
LeBron's
it.
going in there and mocapping his jump shot, or
Probably not. Probably not.
No, right
but
now
that can be
there's an-
replicated? I didn't know jump shot.
No. So right now, the NBA 2K team for next sense, this is a next gen only feature. I forgot what they call it. It's like Pro Play or something like that. So they get the players' actual footage from real life, and they were able to synchronize it into a digital animation, and that's
crazy.
how they added it. Yep.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So sorry to answer you about the DLC. I think this pack is one of the more strongest ones of the whole lineup. To be honest, with
yeah.
you. I hate the celebrity stuff, but like I'm not even going to talk about it. Like Brian said, we'll keep it positive. But I was surprised to see Julia and Stephanie Vaquer in the first pack. They're really big stars in the women's division as a whole, not just for NXT, but WWE in general and worldwide. Adding them in the first pack was a nice statement by WWE 2K. So I like that. And then Motor City Machine Gun, I'm just glad we don't have to wait till the end of the year to play with them because they've been active for a good bit now. So I'm happy about that. So the first pack, I feel like it's a strong start for me.
Drop a rating on it.
8.5.
8.5. All right, my boy
Yeah.
going with the 0.5. All right,
gotta give it a
so the
0.5.
next pack is I'm gonna just spoil it for y'all. This is the worst pack in the whole thing.
No,
Dunk
yeah.
and Destruction pack. Now it starts out good. June 2025, we will be getting Abyss. Wow, Abyss in a WWE game? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
The
Yeah, that
Great
was a shock.
Khali is coming back. The Undertaker is absolutely massive in WWE 2K25. So Khali's going to be even bigger than him. That'll be interesting to see. And then they just kill it all. 3 NBA stars to be announced. I give this pack, I'm going to say 4 out of 10. I'm going to give it
Boy,
a 4 because the
I ain't
first 2
gonna lie, that's
stars
kinda
are
generous.
pretty strong. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey man, if it's Shaq, it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
if it's Shaq, we going to cook.
We get an Abyss, you know what I'm saying? And we might get a Shaq, like people saying.
If it's
Again,
Shaq,
I
then
don't know
sure,
how
I'll
bad
bump
it
you
is,
up.
but if it
I'll
is-
bump you up to 6 out of
Yeah.
10 if it's Shaq.
Because bro,
Yeah,
it's
if
you're
it's
talking
Shaq,
about a guy who
definitely.
was in a WWE ring before, right? So I'll
Oh, yeah, he was.
I'll rock with that.
So I mean, we were Tyrese Halliburton and who else? Jalen Brunson.
That's who
I
we
think
don't
this person
care
gonna be
about.
in.
Yeah, them
I'm happy
probably
about
gonna
my
be the
boy
ones.
Jalen. I'm happy about my boy Jalen, man.
I have
but-
no idea who those people are. I'm sorry. I know Shaq.
Oh,
Let's
really?
get Shaq in there, but I don't know who those other people y'all talking about
Oh,
are.
yeah, Jalen be doing work down there, bro. But
Shout out to LeBron. Let's get LeBron on there. Lex,
I
what do
mean,
you think?
Dude, I love basketball, but my goodness, do I hate this idea. And Shaq is my favorite player of all time. Like, I am like, you know how I ride Roman and I throw up
Whoa.
the ones. I'm the Glazer for Roman. I am a Shaq Glazer. I love Shaq even with all his dumb takes at times. I love Shaq, but even I mean, they must be really missing Big Show, and they're trying to get in a big guy, right? For Great Khali
right.
and Undertaker. So maybe that's what it is. But I'm hearing names like Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson. I like their game in basketball, but I don't want them in a wrestling ring. Not close. Like no. And you know what, bro? 2K NBA 2K did this with football players and rappers and celebrities, and they did it for free. And I bashed them. And it was free. Imagine paying for this. Nah, they
I
lost me,
don't,
bro.
I don't know, but my dog Shaq finna be in that island.
Look,
Crazy.
He
look.
finna have
What do
to
you
go
mean
and
he gonna
talk
be in
to
the
him for a
island?
mission. Bro, they do it
Even-
in the city, bro. They be putting famous like Drewski.
Yeah, they do.
He
They
Oh,
do.
for real?
Drewski be in the crowd in NBA 2K. They got
Yeah.
Drewski,
Yeah.
Cassinet, Hey
Okay.
Boogie. They got them all in the crowd.
Ah, man, but
Crazy.
look, Abyss, wow, what a shocker.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great Khali. Oh, man, welcome back. It's been 10 years. 3 NBA packs. Oh, give me my money back. That's how I feel.
Period. Understand. What do you drop a rating on it?
Man, it's hard, man, but I'm going to go unranked on this one, my boy.
Unranked? All right. Unranked.
Ooh.
TV. Let's go. What about you, Jay?
Man, I can rank it anywhere from a 3.5 to maybe about a 6, depending on if Shaq is in there or not.
Oh,
Mm.
for
If we
Shaq,
get Shaq,
okay.
yeah, it's definitely going
Yeah,
up.
if we get
but-
Shaq, we got to rate it, right? If we get Shaq, we got to
I'll
rate
say
it.
it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a Shaq. You know, a legend. He's kind of legend celebrity too. So hey, I'll give it to Shaq. All right, but the
Yeah,
next one I think is on fire. We got the Fearless Pack, July 2025 with New Jack, Jordan Grace, Penta, Bull Nakano, and of course they had to water it down with the celebrity guest to be announced. It would have been a 10 out of 10, but that celebrity guest brings it down to a 9 for me. Brian, where you at?
For this one, bro, I'm gonna go with an 8.
8. All right.
Yeah,
Come on,
that
man.
celebrity don't worry me too much. We getting 4 good ones.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
said
like
3
getting
good ones. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all be cooking me, telling me to do my research, but I have no idea who Bull Nakano is. So y'all just gonna have to.
Me neither. I say
I think
3,
she's like a
but I mean,
Japanese wrestler, right? Lex,
Yeah. She
Jay?
got inducted to the Hall of Fame. She got inducted to the Hall of Fame fairly recently by WWE 2K, and she's a Japanese like mega star over there, and she inspired like a lot of women in the division. So like, yeah, she's like a trendsetter for them over there. So I get it, but yeah.
Yep, I'll give her a 9 out of 10, because I'm not going to knock her because I know she's a legend. But, I mean, New Jack is the 9 for me. That's pretty much all I needed
Really?
from this fact. I can't believe they got him in a WWE game. Penta, too? Yeah, big shout out to Penta. But, yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. What do you say, Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the same thing, man. 9 out of 10, definitely, man. New Jack, that's crazy. They better
Crazy.
bring some crazy stuff with him too, man.
They got to.
thumbtacks.
yeah,
thumbtacks,
man,
yeah.
please.
I
Brian,
hate
you know
it.
something you don't know?
Can they add a mechanic through DLC? Because he used to stack up some tables. He used to
Yeah,
stack up the
man.
tables, go to the top of the building, and throw people off. So
Yeah, we're not getting stack tables this year, y'all.
you don't
forget
think they
about
can
that.
do it?
Yeah.
All right, what do you think, Lex?
Not in a patch.
Like, man, ECW, yeah, man, they gotta at least give us one.
They gotta,
standout
yeah,
thing.
something hardcore, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be something
People
hardcore.
doing something, I don't care what.
It's got to go further than hardcore with New Jack. He used to stab
Yeah,
people,
dude.
so. But Lex, what do you put on that? What number you put on this one?
7.
7? Oh,
straight up.
what? 7?
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm just-
goodness!
I know, but that celebrity is draining me at this
I
point.
feel you. I get it.
Bull Nakano, as legendary as she is, I'll probably play her to record her at like a B-roll for a video, but I'm not gonna ever use her. New Jack, I'm happy for you guys. I think he's never really been in a WWE game, right?
I don't think he's ever been in a WWE game or ring. So
Yeah. So New Jack, I'm really happy for you guys, and I celebrate it for you guys. But the only people I care here is Jordan Grace and Penta.
All right, that's cool then. I understand. Go watch some New Jack promos though, and
Nah,
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I know
they
he's a
put
crazy-
him
soak
in
in
there.
some of the lore.
I know he's a crazy dude, but
Crazy dude.
they can fix this pack if the special guest celebrity ends up being Joe Hendry. That they can save
that'll be crazy if they just pulled out a shocking surprise like that.
it. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, bro. It seemed yesterday like he was teasing that.
he was teasing it. Yeah,
Yeah, he did
exactly.
say something. I saw that.
And he's
too.
a singer,
Yeah.
so they can try to pull him in from the celebrity part. Just say that.
Celebrity, exactly.
I would love to see it.
I would love to too. So if they put Joe Hendry in this pack and he's the celebrity filler, then I'll probably say 9 out of 10.
I'm going
give
10
it-
out of
Yeah,
10
they
if they
gotta
throw
be a
Joe
10.
Hendry in there.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2-point boost.
Yeah. But the next one here is a 10 out of 10 for me. That is the Attitude Era pack. We got D'Lo Brown coming back. We got Billy Gunn. Somehow this man is in AEW, just like Jake the Snake, though, and he's being added to WWE game, which is crazy. We got the Road Dogg Jesse James, Victoria, who was not a part of the Attitude Era, and we got Mark Henry. That's a 10 out of 10 pack for me. Where you at, Brian? Oh, wait, you wasn't even born during the Attitude Era, but
I'm gonna be honest, dog. They got my boy Mark Henry in there. That's a 10 out of 10, my boy.
All right.
They got jalapeno Mark Henry in there. That's all I want.
Nah, I need sexual chocolate Mark Henry.
And give me that old
Pink
joint, bro.
salmon soup.
Keep that.
Where you at, Jay?
Yeah, that's a cook out of 10, bro. They
Cook
cook
out of
it so,
10.
Yeah.
Lex?
How about you, Lex? Old head.
Look, bro, like I said in my video, man, I am thoroughly happy that they gave us the Attitude Era because, I mean, we were crying about it when we were talking about the DLC. Oh, yeah, I would love for them to give us more Attitude Era stars, but Victoria wasn't there. So when I saw it, I'm like, all right, I mean, yeah, forget it. Everything else is dope. But since we've seen them, the thing is that I want to give it a 10 because the Attitude Era fan in me loves it. I'm happy. I'm really happy. But when I look at that pack, it's like these are a lot of people that were already in the game before, and they've been gone for a couple years, some of them even longer, and they're putting them back. So I guess it's like, here, take it while you can. That's how I feel about this pack, as happy as I am. I am going to give it a 10, but this is like, take it while you can. We signed them recently, so let's put them back in the game. That's kind of how I feel about it.
You know what? We got a lot of people in the chat saying Victoria, like Arius Hill just said Victoria was a part of the Whoo train. So I guess she was in the Attitude Era. I stand corrected.
I mean, yeah, she came out there, but like if they would have given us, who do you think would have been more like edgy that you would have been really shocked? Like
Val Venus, the big Valboski.
The big Valbolski, that's one. Give me like two more because I know you could mention two more easily.
You know what? Y'all might not think so, but I think Kai and Ty need to get back in these games. Taka and Funaki.
Oh wow.
Indeed. I mean, we got to show some love to those guys as well. Everybody does the what's it called? The Funaki driver, the Michinoku driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we don't ever give the man his love.
What about if they would have done like Al Snow or Steve Blackman?
Oh yeah, Al Snow for sure. You got to have head with him though. Steve Blackman, that's an interesting one.
I like
kind of put him in there with Dan the Beast Severn.
I would say at least if they would have given us Val Venus and Al Snow, I would have been like way more surprised than what we got here. But it's a good pack though.
I think this is a perfect pack for me. So I'm gonna I'll still lock it in at the 10.
It is a 10. It's a 10. It's a 10.
We got one more pack, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the Saturday Night's Main Event pack. And we're going to do our next giveaway at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time.
Stay tuned.
The last one, you know what? I'm not going to really dunk on it too much, but I mean, there's only one star in here that I'm actually excited about. This one drops in November. I hate the order of these packs, by the way. Attitude Era pack not dropping until September. But Saturday Night's Main Event pack, we'll get Jesse Ventura, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, Tito Santana, Junkyard Dog, and Sid Justice. If I'm only familiar with one of these guys, and I've been watching since I was like 3 years old, I know Brian don't know not one of them. So, Brian, what do you think about this pack?
This is what I don't care about. But I'm glad that it comes out in November because those
Brian,
have fun.
Brian, so how the hell are you saying that the DLC is good? There's like 10 stars in here that you don't care about total with this pack.
Because like I'm because the thing is, bro, right? Like I can view value. You know what I mean? And I understand. I've seen people excited for it, bro. So I'm not going to dunk on it. But this pack right here is what I don't care about. Like for real, for real.
Ooh, Gangrel and draws. I see that Lunatic F50.
Gangrel would have been good. Exactly.
Gangrel would have been good.
Gangrel, perfect.
Bro, that brother's on an AEW contract, man.
No, he's not on the AEW contract.
Man, but so is Billy Gunn.
But Billy Gunn's figures are still getting made by WWE. I mean, I'm glad because that brother would have not been making no money off figures over there in AEW. So I'm glad that's working out.
Look, you can't do that over here, man. We don't do that over here. Keep that WWE representative stuff over there and on Kiss the Ring. But Jay, did you give us your number on this?
I would give it maybe about a 7.
Okay, I'm going 5 out of 10. This is 5 points for Sid Justice.
Yeah,
what about you, Lex?
5 points for Sid Justice because I respect that they're honoring history, but I'm happy keeping it in history.
All right. You happy keeping the history in history?
Hey, get a couple points for the moveset.
Keep the history historical where it belongs, away from the game. Who plays this game that is actually hyped up about this? Let's be honest. Like, is anyone in the chat like, chat, come on. Like, I'm staring at the chat right now. Is there anyone that's legitimately excited for this pack that they're saying, hell yeah?
Kenny, why is he lying, bro? He's 50.
Oh,
He
come on,
over his
man.
back. Why is he lying, bro? He's 50.
Nah,
bro.
I know he ain't talking about me.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing. Brian, we got our young boy in here, 18 years old, calling everybody
Nah,
50, bro.
come
Relax,
on, Brian.
okay?
Brian,
Relax.
let's be honest. Brian is hyped up about the celebrity guest. They're adding all these celebrities because of his generation. It's all the
Bro,
little kids
Oh,
that are
yeah.
trying to buy the
The
game.
ice
bro.
show speeds and the
Honestly,
constant
bro,
they putting them
Exactly,
in there for Brian.
exactly.
Honestly, if we get a Travis Scott, I'm happy as hell.
Exactly. That's for you,
Yo,
my boy.
I'm
They're trying
I'm
to.
about to get him all dressed up. He
For
about
sure.
to come out with John Cena and The Rock. We about to be cooking.
Exactly.
Hey, that
Exactly.
finisher gonna
That's
be
why
the
he
slap.
Yeah, every
why
time
he
I
was
see a
there
picture of
slapping
that, it's
Cody.
crazy.
Honestly, though, you can't even be mad at a Travis Scott DLC edition just for the fact that he was part of the monumental heel turn.
You know what? I couldn't be
Dennis
mad at
Rodman
it.
back in 1999 or whenever Hulk Hogan turned.
Yeah, I mean, that second celebrity pack drops in July. That's around SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Which we will be attending.
SummerSlam is like at the very end of July or the very beginning of August, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, if that pack's dropping in July, I think Travis Scott is going to have something to do with this whole John Cena thing. So we'll probably see him in there at SummerSlam. They said he's kind of preparing for a match, so he might be that celebrity guest spot. I'm sorry, Lex, it's going to happen.
Look, bro, I've told you guys before, like I don't let things like this rain on my parade, but I'm fine bashing it and trashing it and still enjoying the game. If I could like tailor my packs together, there's a lot of people I would get. I mean, there's a lot more people that I wouldn't care to get than the ones that I would. But I still get the Bloodline or like the deluxe edition because it's the cheapest way to have access to them, unless you wait till like the very, very end of the run where you get it like dirt cheap. But yeah, I mean, the season pass for me, if they're not thinking about adding, like you said, something extreme for New Jack or some other stuff along the way, like I was happy about the surprises they gave us this past year, along with the DLC. With the War Games arena, with the extra weapons each DLC drop, like those surprises were actually something that I was more excited about, even for the packs that I paid for. Can you imagine? So, I hope they do that again. If they keep that trend, then I'll be a happy camper, regardless of who the hell we get, Travis Scott or not.
Hopefully it's Joe Hendry, though. I like the Joe Hendry idea.
Yeah, I would like for it to be Joe Hendry. I think that would clean up, a slot at least. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I would be, what do you say, remiss to not mention the background, Lex, because you got all island gear going on. So I got to give a big shouts out to you with for the dedication on the stream.
Thank you, bro.
But
Thank you.
yeah, fellas, that's about it. Early impressions on WWE 2K25. I think it should be a good year as long as they keep things cooking on the island. Jay, thank y'all for coming. Thanks for coming in. Make sure y'all
problem,
go check
bro.
out Jay. Where
Anytime.
can they find you at?
Man, on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, man, is JRed0814. You know what I'm saying? If you want to check me out there. Of course, YouTube, JCSJ.
All right,
Yeah.
Lex. Where can they find you? What you got coming up?
Lex Got Next on Twitter, Lex Express on YouTube. We're doing the Road to WrestleMania watch parties. We got lots of streams and videos coming. So thank you for having me, man. I had a blast. I love doing this with you guys. So,
yes, sir. Absolutely. Our
my
WWE
dog.
executive.
I think-
Brian, you stuck with
think
me
the
here
game
for
is
the
gonna
rest
be
of the
good.
night. Would you say, Lex?
No, that I think the game, for all its faults and the issues that we can nitpick and break down, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a fun year regardless, with some of the other things that outweigh the negatives. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Brian, you stuck with me here for the rest of the night, even though you got to get on a plane in the morning. But where can the people find you
We
at?
here. Y'all already know, man. Y'all can find me just Brian NY. You could look me up that way, or just Brian. I'm pretty sure I've done cooked up the Just Brian algorithm, so y'all can find me
yeah,
there,
you got
bro.
it.
Because before people used to look me up and couldn't find me. So
Yep, you in there now, though. I don't even got to type in the NY or WWE. Just Brian, you come right up. Show him on the hat. Bing. No, other side. Bing.